Gentlemen, as the CEO of Marvel Studios, it's my job to make sure this company stays afloat. Now, we're past the end game, and after Spider-Man No Way Home, we've completely tapped the nostalgia well dry. Interest in the Marvel IP is waning. How do we stay on top and make sure those rat bastards at DC stay irrelevant for another 10 years? Ideas. Dude, stick with me on this one killer idea. What if we just rebooted Teen Titans? You know, we don't actually own that. Still a great idea though. I've got it. Big Wheel, the television series. That sounds really lazy. What else? Come on guys, keep brainstorming. What's the next big idea?
Sir, I've got terrible news.
Yes?
A healthcare CEO was just killed.
That's tragic.
And some people are even calling this shooter a hero.
Say that again.
I said some people are calling this shooter a hero.
Marvel Rivals is way better than it should be. Oh my god! No! He suicide jumped me. Oh my god. By all accounts, this should have been the most modern of modern games. We have seen the worst of the worst from the hero shooter genre in recent years. Titans and Goliaths have fallen. Recent superhero games have had a pattern of being quickly snapped out of existence. Now what you're telling me, Ackman, in this video is that a brand new superhero game just came out and it didn't flop? Yes.
You heard that correctly.
Marvel Rivals has had tremendous, unanimous praise and success. And right now, you know what Sony is thinking?
Is it possible to learn this power?
Not from Concord. Everyone approached Marvel Rivals with a reasonable amount of skepticism, and I was one of those skeptics. Turned out, I couldn't have been happier to be wrong. Marvel Rivals was not what I expected, because the developers NetEase don't have the best reputation when it comes to releasing games and then quickly abandoning those live service games. Rivals could have easily just been another in a long list of failed experiments, but in a strange bit of trickery, Marvel Rivals has become one of the rare breakout successes. Something interesting happened with the release of Marvel Rivals. Overwatch 2 hit its lowest player count on Steam since arriving on the platform in August 2023. Coincidence?
But as one trained in the Force, you know that true coincidences are rare.
It seems this superhero hero shooter has sparked a sort of renaissance for the genre. But why? Is it just because it's familiar to Overwatch? Could it be the power of the Marvel brand itself? Why does it feel like the hero shooter genre has been born again? Why is Marvel Rivals so awesome? Well, let's set up a mind trap, curb stomp that fucking shark, and open a portal straight into this. First impressions are everything, and this game wastes no time flexing what it's got. The sculpted soundtrack, buff animation, and the muscular comic book art style. Marvel Rivals has taken the world by storm, even if she is bottom tier. And while I plan on giving this game a whole heap of praise, there are some pretty serious issues that need to be figured out sooner rather than later. Fuck Hawkeye! What? When Overwatch released, it was new, fresh, and well worthy of being awarded Game of the Year. Marvel Rivals succeeds for many of the same reasons, and it's clearly taken inspiration. 6v6 PvP with 3 classes, tanks, DPS, and healers. You've got your standard modes of escort payload, capture the point, then escort payload. They got real creative there. But if we're going to call Marvel Rivals an Overwatch clone, then we need to call Overwatch a Team Fortress 2 clone, and so on and so on. To say Rivals is a cheap imitation completely discounts all the ways it has innovated on a proven successful formula. And what really separates it from Overwatch are the team-ups. These are the bread and butter of Rivals. It adds a new level of strategy and synergy. To truly get the most out of this game, you gotta experiment with the roster. Because of this team up feature, I find myself playing heroes I probably wouldn't have without it. So you got anchor characters which provide benefits to other heroes, and the combo potential is insane. The team-ups really do encourage you to try out different heroes and compositions because they offer such unique abilities. If Magneto and Scarlet Witch are on the same team, Magneto gets this utterly broken metal sword. Oh my god, check out this fucking great sword action right now.
Yeah, we're cutting him down. Yeah, we're cutting him down. Yeah, you see this shit?
Oh my. Hexa-kill, boys!
You have made your father proud, Wanda, my dear.
You have made your father proud, Wanda, my dear.
Is that the real Magneto? No fucking way. I'm such a big fan.
Yeah, behold, it is I, the real Magneto. These team-ups are clearly built around the philosophy of, we don't want to make this competitively balanced. We just think it's cool, it's fun, and it fits with the lore between the characters. And that's the right philosophy. There will be a time to balance and fine-tune all the bullshit later. What? But for now, let's just enjoy Rivals and go with the flow. Between the closed beta in August and release, there were 10 new heroes added, and I could not tell you how excited I was to try each one of them out. I mean, Marvel Rivals could end up rivaling the hype of Smash Brothers announcements, as fans will have all this time to speculate which hero or villain will be added next, who they're going to be able to team up with. But I would love to see how they balance someone like Thanos or add Drax. Where's the Green Goblin? Doc Ock? Doc Ock would be fucking sick. The movesets of each hero are considerably more complex than heroes in Overwatch, which can lead to some balancing issues, but it also leads to a new level of skill expression.
Wow, 4 in a row.
Wow, well goddamn, pentakill, what the hell? It's a lot to take in at first, but if you have experience with like Dota, League of Legends, this will actually be a breath of fresh air. Because while League of Legends has many champions and Dota 2 has many heroes, Marvel Rivals has 33. Because this is one of those games that if you don't know what each character does, you will be punished for your lack of knowledge. I think a major reason why Rivals is hitting so hard for people is it feels like the gaming community has recovered something that it lost. The game strikes a perfect balance in appealing to both casual and hardcore fans, whether you're more into the movies or you've been deep into the comics. Casual players will be familiar enough with obvious staples like Iron Man, Hulk, and... what? Spider-Man? Who put this nobody in here? What the fuck? And hardcore fans will likely be a little too enthusiastic about the inclusion of Squirrel Girl. Thank God she has shoes on. I cannot imagine what I'd be seeing on the internet right now if she didn't. Another big deviation from Overwatch is that Marvel Rivals is played in third person and not first. This is great because it means I can goon mid-match to Venom's suspiciously toned hindquarters. But it is nice to be able to see the awesome skins you've unlocked or purchased like all the time instead of just when you emote or in the highlight intro or whatever. Of course, no game is ever perfect, and Rivals' biggest flaw is favoritism. There are 7 healers, 8 tanks, and a whopping 18 DPS heroes. There's more duelists than both strategists and vanguards combined. So what ends up happening is...
you can't go in with 3 DPS, Dutch. Dutch, what are we doing, Dutch? You see your 4th teammate pick
the 4th DPS and
and
you're
no
like,
healers.
what are we doing,
What are we doing, Dutch?
If you ever check the scoreboard and it looks like this, you might want to look around your house and see if you're surrounded by fire and brimstone, because you might be in hell. I don't know what they were thinking making Wolverine a DPS character. This discrepancy between hero classes means you'll see certain healers and tanks way more often than some of the more niche DPS picks. A lot of folk that main strategist and healer right now are probably feeling disgruntled that they're constantly forced into this role because the rest of their teammates just want to get kills. Can you switch to tank? Nope.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
I don't care if we lose.
Makes sense now, you trash.
God. Every champion is a lot of fun to play. The only exceptions might be Storm and Black Widow, whose kits feel underdeveloped. But then you got characters like Moon Knight, who can put these onks down that do devastating damage to an enemy team. He doesn't even have to aim. Random bullshit, go! Penny Parker is one of my favorites, one of my mains, because you can set up all these mines and webs for cheese kills. Oh, nice try, Magic. Yeah, walk into the spider webs. And have you heard of The Winter Soldier? Well, 'tis the season. This guy's strong as fuck. He can wipe the enemy team again and again.
Cursed parasite, rise up and I will kill you again and again, again and again, again and again, again and again.
While some abilities obviously have their Overwatch counterpart, most characters feel completely unique. Doctor Strange has a portal, man. We've seen portals in single player and multiplayer with Portal and Splitgate, but never in a hero shooter. This one ability is such a game changer. It can be comboed in entirely unique ways with every character on the roster. It's impressive how they even made this work. It's the coolest ability in the game.
Born again!
Arguably, Marvel Rivals' biggest strength comes down to its sex factor. I mean, X factor. No gooning allowed. I'm talking about its style and presentation. Everything from the menus, the user interface, the costumes, outfits, skins, particle effects, idle animations. The artists did 10 out of 10 work. They did not skimp out on the budget with these character designs, and thank God they didn't, because guess what? A hero shooter has to sell you on its heroes. Yo, they do got some pretty... Oh my God, this is insane.
Yep.
Wow, that's actually nutty as fuck. Man, if only they could AI generate these types of animations and skins, wouldn't that be great?
We need more.
But beneath this comic book visual art style, there are some surprisingly detailed character models. Let's just say there are no secrets underneath. And boy, oh boy, they know what audience they were catering to. This is a direct attack on Overwatch's gooner community. Isn't that crazy? Shifting focus back to the video game, the Marvel IP does a ton of heavy lifting, obviously providing legendary storied iconic characters that we've all known for decades and decades. You know what's really impressive, coming from the Halo community? I haven't seen a single fucking person complain about the art style. Not one. Rivals definitely leans more into a comic book exaggerated, unrealistic art style as opposed to realistic, normal body proportions. And I couldn't be happier. Seeing how wide Thor is, he's just a fucking unit. And in the goofy ass way that Captain America runs, like, perfect. The designs of the characters are familiar, but they're also not exactly direct ripoffs from any established Marvel media. They feel unique. This comic book inspiration is seen everywhere, from just hovering over them in the menus. They pop out of their portrait. A quite literal way of showing characters so real they leap off the page. That some of the skins contain unorthodox buffs.
I think it's funny. I don't know if you pointed this out in your video, but there's like actual skins that just like actually just buff like the butt sizes of characters. Look between the Black Widow movie skin and her regular. Tell me that is not different.
The angles are hard. I'm gonna have to analyze this in post. What's also nice is that you can share highlights, watch the best moments from your fellow teammates after a match, and what's this? You can save replays, watch them later, even record from different angles? By God! Ladies and gentlemen, a working theater mode.
I don't believe it!
But Marvel Rivals has taken a big gamble and done something I haven't seen in any other MOBA or hero shooter: destructible environments. What? How unexpected.
A surprise, to be sure, but a welcome one.
I mean, I fucking love a good Levolution in Battlefield, but a hero shooter? Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure, because when we're playing as the biggest and baddest heroes from the Marvel universe, like, well, haven't you seen the movies? Wherever they fight, the place gets fucked up, destroyed. And it just wouldn't feel right if Iron Man's ult didn't destroy every building in sight around you. You wouldn't feel like the Hulk if you couldn't break down walls with your bare hands. Pressing the B key on PC allows you to see everything that's destructible. And it's not just some cheap gimmick. You can reveal hidden pathways, shoot a hole through a wall to open up a secret sightline, or completely destroy structures that provide cover for the enemy. It's a really dynamic element of the game that keeps the moment-to-moment combat exciting, as you never know when something's gonna blow up and force you to react and respond to it. I think it's also cool that the environments rebuild themselves over a period of time. So once something's destroyed, you know, it's not just like a flat, empty landscape. Knowing how map layouts change and are destroyed is part of the skill gap. Like in the Hydra base, where the center point switches between high ground and low ground. This game doesn't have a large amount of maps, but the ones it has are of the highest quality. No snowbound or derailed. What's even more impressive is that you don't really have to take the map into consideration when you pick a hero, as they've all been made to accommodate each hero's kit and playstyle. Thor's ult, for example, is much better used in an environment with a high ceiling. Using it in claustrophobic environments just makes you an easy immobile target to burst down. Groot's thorn walls can give him a little bit of high ground, allowing him to jump over narrow gaps or sometimes even save himself from a certain death. Pretty much every hero has some kind of movement ability, whether it's a glide, a dash, sprinting, skating, double jumps. And then there's Adam Warlock, who gets to fly for a brief moment when he dies. Now, I'm not surprised by this, but it is regrettable that despite the unlimited well of ideas they can pull inspiration from the entire Marvel IP, there is a startling lack of game mode variety. Right now, most players are focused on having fun or ranking up and mastering their favorite heroes, but casual players don't stick around long if there isn't casual fun to be had. The more casuals that leave, the sweatier and less fun the game becomes overall for the general audience. So it's important to include wacky fun modes like, oh my god, Jeff the Landshark in Winter Wonderland? It's beautiful. Jarvis, don't twist his nutsack. Actually, I like Jeff the Shark now. They even reworked Jeff's abilities to work with this mode. Modes like this are a wacky distraction that can take you out of the more competitive, sweaty parts of the game. A big improvement from Overwatch is that I'm pretty sure when you're on offense, the payload will move forward if there's no enemies nearby, which means you're not locked into sitting on the payload in order to progress it. You can actually push forward and really take advantage of a good offensive. It means you don't have to take yourself out of the action to push the objective, and that's a huge improvement. Marvel Rivals also has a tournament mode. I mean, this game is built for spectating in esports. It has the potential. This is great because Marvel Rivals now offers the chance for anybody to compete. And who knows? The next XQC might be around the corner. All right, folks. Now let's get a little controversial, okay? There's a big question that needs answering. The world has been losing their mind over this. Does Marvel Rivals need role queue?
No. No, man. Shit, no, man. I believe you get your ass kicked saying something like that, man.
This is the truth right here. The objectively correct subjective opinion. Role queue is anti-fun. Overwatch and League of Legends don't have a team-up feature where specific heroes are made to work together. So adding in a role queue would restrict team composition and player choice and agency so much. My god. We're actually doing it with this dumb shit fucking comp. Oh my god, we got it! Yo! You wouldn't be able to swap roles when one isn't working out. With role queue, you don't have that option. Counterpicks aren't super prevalent in Marvel Rivals, but it is still part of the game. If you add role queue and you make every single fucking casual and competitive match consist of 2 duelists, 2 tanks, and 2 vanguards, I'm gonna lose my mind and my interest very quickly. Lucky for us, ladies and gentlemen, pop the champagne bottles, it's a new year. The developers have confirmed that role queue in Marvel Rivals is not a priority at the moment. So let us take our victory lap because these guys are making all the right moves with this game, in my opinion. Let's just enjoy the casual, stupid fun with Rivals instead of immediately trying to pressure the devs to optimize the fun out of it. The whole point of the team-ups is to encourage teamwork and not be a one-trick pony. Your team hasn't picked the healer? Be the change you want to see in the world. Pick Adam Warlock, pull off some clutch heals, and watch your team praise the ever-loving shit out of you. Alright, I'll bring your dumbass back. Oh, you are so fucking... Oh my god, I am hard carrying you right now.
Dude, shut the fuck up, okay?
What? I saved your ass twice! That's the 3rd time I've saved your ass.
You're the support main, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, you're supposed to thank my stupid ass. Casual play is one thing, but taking a game like Marvel Rivals to the competitive level, well, you start to see the cracks. Example A, this adorable little bastard. Jeff's ult is the ultimate troll. You suck up everybody in a wide circle with a janky hitbox that for some reason spreads all the way up vertically. The issue is almost everyone is using this ultimate the same way, to suicide dive off the map and score cheap, easy team wipes. Jeff is a character whose ult is fun and cool. It offers unique gameplay opportunities, but he needs to be balanced more like Tom Kench. I like the impact Jeff's ult has, but there has to be a drawback. Some incentive to use it more carefully or decide if you want to spit out teammates or not, instead of everybody using it as a fucking kamikaze technique. Slowing Jeff's movement based on the number of heroes he eats would balance it out nicely, and allowing him to shoot out heroes individually to speed himself up, you got a unique interaction there. Now let's be real, every ultimate in the game is powerful as shit. And while it feels nice to pop an ult and immediately start whooping some ass or rescue your team, the issue is that so many ultimates start before the voice line is finished. The audio cue that indicates you're about to be punched in the face by Iron Cock, or the enemy team is about to become immortal for 8 seconds. So defensively, you have very little time to react to something like Psylocke's ult, which does 150 damage per hit and hits twice per second. So if she solo ults you, you got about 1 second to live, kiddo. Ults like this can sometimes feel cheap and impossible to counter or survive. On the flip side, there's time to react to Iron Man and Scarlet Witch's ult, because they're very telegraphed. But again, for characters like Spider-Man, Winter Soldier, it's hard to react to, which can be frustrating when you're on the receiving end, but it's not so bad because respawn timers are pretty quick. Luna Snow's ult is probably the best in the support category, as it makes her and everyone on her team immortal if they stand in the circle. There's also been an exploit discovered where you can rapidly toggle for healing and damage boost to get both at the same time. Fix that shit, please. No BXRs. This isn't Halo 2. We're no Smash Melee. None of that. Marvel Rivals should reward skill, not knowledge of exploits. On the official website, you can see the relevant stats for each hero, and it is eye-opening to say the least. Iron Man's ult does 1,000 damage. Jarvis, twist their nutsacks. Oh, and you can shoot it through a Doctor Strange portal to hit your opponents from an angle they'll never notice until it's too late. This game does encourage creativity and thinking outside the box. When two players link up in perfect synergy like this, it becomes nearly impossible for the opponents to avoid death. Kills feel rewarding, and dying not so punishing. This game already has a Punisher of its own.
Kill me.
And how about our boy Hawkeye? Isn't it ironic that the one guy who technically doesn't have superpowers is the most overpowered?
Everyone look at the health bar.
Look at the health bar.
Health bar's important. Yeah.
Look at this.
3 times
You
it
got
moves.
3 headshots, you go good.
No, look.
Okay.
One
headshot.
First headshot is 302 damage, okay? Second hit is not a headshot.
Not a headshot, yeah.
306 damage. Yeah.
Yeah, you
3
go coach.
shots.
I'm pretty sure
He's
the
got
Hawkeye
the next
Go to-
arrow
go to
cooked.
his- go
Look
to
at
his
him.
POV.
Look at him.
Go to his POV.
He's got
Go to his
the
POV.
Easy, dude.
What?
He cooked you.
What?
He just cooked you.
He cooked
You
you.
could have bubbled
What do you mean he cooked me? This is bullshit.
and go attack the Hawkeye.
Look,
Did he execute you?
look at how
Oh,
broken
that-
this
No,
shit
he
is.
cooked you.
You fucking idiots are talking shit about my play? That happened in 2.5 seconds. What was I supposed to do?
Bubble.
What the fuck was I supposed to do? At a competitive level, a really good Hawkeye will demolish you and the fairness of a match. He's frustrating for the same reasons Hanzo used to be frustrating. But the big difference is Hanzo used to not have escape options or get off me moves. Hawkeye gets both, and his headshots can deal a maximum of 384 damage. Enough to one-shot 75% of the heroes and leave all tanks dead or within 100 HP of death after 2 shots. Hawkeye, when he's in the right hands, is simply not fun to play against. It reminds me of the Black Cleaver meta with Riven. This motherfucker can 3-shot Hulk. Despite a lot of imbalanced imperfections, Marvel Rivals has had one of the best launches in recent memory for a multiplayer live service. And these small hiccups aren't enough to significantly derail its momentum. But they are things that will probably need to be fixed in the future. And who knows, maybe I'm just talking shit and the fan base simply needs time to adjust to each character's kit and learn how to counter it. But Marvel Rivals is not just pretty to look at. I would say the sound design rivals the art direction. Every map has its own thematic suite of tracks, with music for the loading screen, hero selection, countdown, end of match. The total length of the soundtrack is short, but by the beard of Zeus is it sweet. Now, we're all familiar with the actors who play our favorite heroes up on the big screen, but take a look at how stacked this game is with voice actor talent. Troy Baker, Yuri Lowenthal, Brian Bloom, who I immediately recognized as the voice of Varric from Dragon Age, Steve Bloom.
Berserker! Rage!
Dude, fucking Tank Dempsey is in this. Nolan North as Rocket Raccoon. You guys realize NetEase has assembled an all-star cast for this game, including 3 of the 4 legendary OG COD Zombies cast. Not to mention Nika Futterman as Hela, aka Ventress from the Clone Wars. These highly talented, experienced voice actors bring an immense presence to the game and each hero. Many of them have voiced these characters before, and given how fantastic they are at their jobs, I can't wait for them to all be replaced by AI. Imagine replacing your voice cast like that. Not for 1 second have I ever felt like, that doesn't really sound or look like Rocket Raccoon. Immersing myself as each hero I play is automatic, and the ultimate voice lines go way harder than they need to.
Fear Magneto! Armed and dangerous!
No, not that one. Jesus Christ, 3 days after he was crucified.
Born again!
The bottom line, the heroes in Marvel Rivals are perfect in terms of design, aesthetic, and voiceover. How they work gameplay-wise is a bit of a different story, but it's easy to feel a sense of pride in the character you choose to main. Now let's talk monetization, because this is where free-to-play games tend to fuck up the most. After the closed beta back in July and August, the #1 request in the surveys from fans was to unlock all heroes for everyone at release. Guess what they did? Exactly that. Now that's what I call a big win. You see, Marvel Rivals is a game that should be free because it has the perfect formula for monetization that doesn't fuck with the game at all, and it can support future updates. All these heroes have decades and decades of costumes, outfits, and comics to pull inspiration from. There is seriously no end. How old is Marvel? 86 years. I'm sorry, you've got 86 years of material to sell. For most games, selling individual skins for $15 to $20 would be, well, it's a hard sell. But given the quality of the game and that it's free, I think it's the perfect business model for fans and the developers to just say, hey, if this is your favorite hero, you can buy a cool skin for him. 15, 20 bucks.
Born again!
Yeah, I bought it, okay? What up? Shut up. I've never even seen Adam Warlock in a movie. Shut up. Speaking of, the Battle Pass is only $5. I don't know if Battle Passes have ever been that cheap. There are only 4 pages of rewards, but some of the rewards in here are pretty fucking incredible. You know what? Given how egregious Overwatch was with its monetization when it was loot boxes, fucking duplicate rewards, and then with Overwatch 2, the absurd grind, how Blizzard locked new heroes behind a paywall, I'll take this. I'll take this any day of the week over the alternative. The monetization also doesn't ruin the progression at all, which isn't anything crazy, but it's enough to give you reason to keep playing. And let's not forget the potential for selling announcer voice packs, okay? Let me tell you what I'd spend money on: the privilege of hearing J. Jonah Jameson narrate my matches. If you bring J.K. Simmons in, sell that voice pack for 10, 15 bucks, you're printing money, man. At the end of the day, Marvel Rivals is way better than it has any reason to be, because it embraces low-stakes casual fun over trying to be the next esports juggernaut. They wanted to make the heroes fun to play more than they wanted to sell you skins for them. The hero designs are absolute peak, team-ups are an amazing innovation on the hero shooter genre, and I'm just excited to see what the future of this game holds. NetEase have surprisingly, against the odds, made all the right moves so far with Marvel Rivals, but the future is always uncertain. Lest we get consumed by hype, we must remember that modern gaming can attack at any time. There's always growing pains when a casual game becomes more competitive, but part of me is excited 2 years from now to be like, hey, you guys remember when Hawkeye was fucking broken? You know? I'm excited for the culture of Marvel Rivals. It's addicting as all hell, and I'll be marveling at the Rivals for a long time. This game strikes the perfect balance between pleasing the casual and hardcore fans, and that is why Marvel Rivals is so awesome. But what do you think? Are you a Hawkeye or Hela main? If so, get the fuck out. JK, wish you the best luck in ranking up. What are your thoughts on Marvel Rivals? What are your biggest critiques and your biggest point of praise? Let me know in the comments down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe to the Act Man for more awesome content. Alright everyone, that's all I got for today. This is the Thanos Man, snapping out. Peace!